Today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the Enterbay NBA Michael Jordan I'm Back 6 scale figure. The Bulls and the Portland Trail Blazers was always one of Spot's two favorite teams, and of course anybody growing up in the 90s would instantly know exactly who this person is. This is Michael Jordan, and this is the I'm Back release of the 6 scale figure from the folks over at Enterbay. Sporting now the number 45 jersey. This is Michael Jordan returning from his retirement, where he was going into baseball and stuff like that. I don't know why he wouldn't have gone to baseball, but this is Michael Jordan returning and sporting the number 45 jersey. This is Enterbay's second or third release of the 6 scale figure of Jordan. Of course, originally starting with the number 23 jersey and moving on from there. Before we have a look at the figure itself, I gotta say the box is pretty cool. It's a dense box, I must say as well, featuring the image of the front of Michael Jordan sporting the number 45 Chicago Bulls jersey. And the side of the box features Jordan. Actually shows Jordan all the way down the side, and on the back we have the Enterbay 1/6 scale real masterpiece collectible figure of the NBA Michael Jordan Series 1 I'm Back. There's also the website, www.enterbay.com. You can check out the other 6 scale figures that Enterbay is producing. This is also limited to 2,500 pieces. This is one of 2,500. And we can go ahead and open up the box itself. And on the one side, you've got his jacket, basketball, the display stand, a couple of interchangeable hands, and then we can go ahead and remove the styrofoam featuring the classic, iconic basketball player right there in all his glory. You also get yourself just an instruction guide. It's not even really so much an instruction guide. It's like a warranty, 7-day exchange repair warranty. And that being said, Spot's going to take a break. Looking forward to getting this guy opened up. And when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Enterbay Michael Jordan I'm Back. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Just before we have a look at this basketball great, the first thing we'll have a look at is a super impressive display stand that comes with the figure. On the front, we have a front placard that says Michael Jordan, and on the top, the Chicago Bulls, March 19th, 1995, which is actually when Jordan came back to the game after, again, taking a retirement break and pursuing baseball, and subsequently was adorned the jersey 45 as opposed to the 23. Really cool display stand in that you've got it kind of looks like a faux basketball court flooring, and you've got the classic, iconic Chicago Bulls logo in the middle there of the bull. It's a good size display stand too. You'll also see that there's a hole on the top there. That's because the folks over at Enterbay also give you an adjustable neck. We've seen these before with a lot of characters that you can have in, flight. Essentially, Air Jordan, he was just as much in flight as the likes of an Iron Man or Batman. And with the adjustable neck, you can accommodate the same sort of successful poses. This just gets screwed in. This gets screwed into the base, the display stand base, just like that. And I actually, just seeing here, there we go. Screws in all the way. And you've got yourself an adjustable neck for Jordan's stand. The other thing that you get with the display stand too is a waist clip. And unlike other 6 scale figures that we've seen before, this waist clip not only is spring loaded, so it will open and close shut around the waist of Jordan, but it's also metal. This whole section here is metal with a ratcheted joint to pose and bend it. This will sit on top of the display stand and hold Jordan just right for some really cool display options. I'll show you guys that in a second. Before we do anything else though, let's get a better look at the Michael Jordan 1/6 scale figure. And I gotta say, he is quite impressive. This is Spot's first entry into the realm of Enterbay 6 scale figures. And I gotta say, they did a fantastic job when it came to Michael Jordan here. Now, one of the things that I, as a staple as a teenager in in the 90s, one of the things that I was a diehard fan of was, again, basketball. My favorite teams were still the Portland Trail Blazers with Clyde Drexler, and of course, I was a big Chicago Bulls fan. Big Chicago Bulls fan. I watched every game. Anytime it was on TV, that's where you'd find me. I was sitting in front of the TV watching the Bulls in action. It was sad to see Jordan leave initially, after such successful accomplishments with the Chicago Bulls, but it was cool to see him come back as well. And Enterbay, I think, recreates a perfect homecoming, so to speak, of Jordan here, sporting his 45 jersey. I think as a purist, though, I will always think of Jordan more so with the number 23 jersey. I think many collectors and many sports enthusiasts will always kind of think of Jordan with number 23, but the number 45 also represents something too, where Jordan had left the game, decided to pursue other ventures, and ultimately came back and brought further wins to the likes of the Chicago Bulls. The jersey itself still carries over the same red and black treatment, along with the white trim there as well that you would see with the other Chicago Bulls jerseys. No detail certainly is spared when it comes to really any of his outfit here. From the top of his jersey, trimmed in the little bit of black and the white. You've got the NBA logo even printed on the jersey itself. You got Bulls 45 on the one side, spin around the back. You've got Jordan 45 on the back of the jersey. His shorts, let's bring the camera in here. The shorts have the NBA logo as well as the side details there of the Chicago Bulls logo on either side, and of course also trimmed in the white and black. The material itself also is exactly almost, I would say it's almost the same fabric, if not the same fabric as a real jersey. That kind of breathing type fabric material that they would use for the actual court games. Some of the other details all the way down to some Air Jordans there. We've got some shoes complete with the Air Jordan logo on the back, NBA socks. I suppose theoretically you could remove the shoes, but this particular figure does not come with an extra pair of shoes, so you can't mix and match it. But I suppose if you could go, online or something like that and find an alternate swappable pair of shoes, you could probably swap them out for the ones that he's currently wearing, but I'm perfectly fine keeping them the way that they are. Getting a better look at Michael Jordan's face, it is without any doubt Michael Jordan. Sometimes when you get a 6 scale figure, depending on which angle you look at the figure, whether it be from the front or from the side, sometimes one doesn't look more, I think, realistic than the other. I think Jordan, looks both good, not only from the front view, but also from the side. There is no denying that is Michael Jordan without any doubt whatsoever. For the face sculpt itself, there's really no expression that they've given Michael Jordan. Not to say that you would want to give him expression. Although, I would say as maybe future release ideas, it'd be kind of cool to give him some expression as if, if he's airborne or if he's just finished slam dunking a ball. Maybe some little bit of, energy in his face probably could have also gone a long way too. But it all depends on how you're going to be displaying him. An overly expressioned face doesn't always translate well when you've got the figure just standing holding a basketball in hand. Much like the real-life Jordan as well, the folks over at Enterbay also give you the entering outfits, or the outfits that they would come in before they would be playing the game. You get yourself a pair of pants, nylon pants, and you also get yourself the iconic Chicago Bulls jacket, complete with the larger bull on the back. In order to get the pants as well as the jacket on, you're going to have to remove the shoes, and the shoes, just the whole foot section comes off just to have the peg underneath, and the pants, there's a little snap on the side. Instead of it being Velcro, there's a little snap on the side that helps assist you to get the pants on over top of his legs. And as for the jacket, the same idea. You're going to have to remove the hands just because of the cuff of the sleeves is so small. It won't clear the hands on their own. You have to take the hands off first, put the jacket on, and then put the hands in place. A pretty good look for Jordan. Not per se the look that I would have him displayed with especially he's a man of the game, I would display him just with his regular jersey on. But it does mean there are open possibilities that if I do eventually get the original 23 Jordan, I may potentially display Jordan, this Jordan here. I might display him actually as you see right here, and then we could have 23 Jordan, and then we can have Jordan in his actual arrival jacket and pants. So I might consider doing that. Again, either way works, but if I just ultimately end up going with the standalone Jordan, I definitely would be displaying him with his jersey only. Just before we go ahead and take the nylon jacket and pants off, I just want to show you, we're going to go ahead and take his shoes off here. I didn't actually want to take the socks off, but there's what the socks would look like. And we'll just slide that back onto his legs here. There we go. That's basically, you have to take these off in its entirety to take the pants off. And I'm just going to put Jordan down here for a second. I want to show you the shoes here. Show you a better look at what they look like. And right down to the details on the undersoles. Another reason why I want to take these shoes off too, and this is kind of neat that Enterbay would have done this. They give you a shoebox. On the top it says Jordan, and on the side it actually says the size 14. Not to say, because Jordan will obviously need his shoes. After all, those are his feet after all. But if you do have other shoes that he can wear, you could take the Jordans and put them inside a box. And I think that's a really nice touch. I had a little issue though with getting the top flap, as it normally is, when you make a little small version of a box, sometimes these flaps don't properly close off. I might have to actually just find a way to kind of seal that shut. But it's neat that you would have gotten a little box of shoes to house his Air Jordans. Returning Jordan back to his number 45 jersey, I find one problem I might have with the figure, and it's not specific to every single release of this 6-scale figure. However, I find that the ankle joints on Jordan, while they are relatively tight, I feel like at times it does have a tough time holding the figure up. Of course, the display stand will come quite handy, especially if you're going to be displaying him dynamic poses, but I find standing him just on his own, sometimes he stands, for the most part, he stands pretty good. Every once in a while, though, I find like the ankles give way and the figure might topple over. As you can see, I can get him to stand really no problem, but the ankles, being that the pegs are so small on him, as you can see, sometimes they do give way on the figure. A small critique, again, if I'm going to be displaying him with the display stand, it's not so much going to be a big issue for me, but it is something to point out that those pegs on the ankles, very small, and could cause a little bit of problems getting him to stand. Michael Jordan's other accessories will include a total of 8 extra interchangeable hands ranging from closed fists to different open palms, a pointer finger hand, and my own personal favorite, these open palms. Now you'll see that there's something quite different about the open palms. There's like a little circle cavity that's been filled in. These are magnetic hands. And they are magnetic because, of course, Michael Jordan will come with his own Spalding basketball. And you would imagine if Michael Jordan's going to be in air a lot of the times, how is he going to possibly hold his basketball? Well, you take the flat palms that have the little outline here, and the ball themselves, the hands themselves, are magnetized to the basketball. It's a really exceptional touch. You have to actually find the proper area to magnetize the hand. It's right above the Spalding logo. But you can see he holds the ball no problem at all. The magnetized hand definitely comes in handy, as well as the adjustable neck that I was showing you before, where you can get Air Jordan in the air. It's a really exceptional touch to include the magnetized basketball, because you can do things with it that you wouldn't normally be able to do had that not had a magnetic attachment. So that's really cool that you can incorporate that into the displaying of Michael Jordan. When it comes to Jordan's articulation, he has 2 ball joints in the head, 1 ball joint sitting in the cavity of the neck itself, 1 ball joint sitting in the cavity of the head, giving you a lot of motion and movement there. His shoulders are interesting enough because not only does he have the the hinge joints in the shoulders, which allow the arms to hinge out, but he also has what appears to be a secondary joint on the inside. You can't even see it, but it's on the inside of his torso, where it looks like it allows for a pivot point in the shoulder area above and beyond the ball joint that's sitting in that cavity. So it gets a lot of movement going there as well. He has the bend in the elbow, which also rotates at the forearm section. He has a hinge in the hand, upper torso crunch, which allows also for rotation in the waist. And then when it comes to his legs hinge forward and back and out. He has a swivel point right at the top of his thigh area here. Of course, as you would expect it, Jordan's got a double hinge knee. And finally, he's got a ball joint or ball peg joint in the ankle area as well. If you ask me, Michael Jordan here couldn't have turned out better. Enterbay did an astonishing job on this figure. Now, technically, this isn't the original release of Jordan, but it's a Jordan that represents, to many basketball fans out there, his coming home. Sporting now the 45 jersey as opposed to the 23, Jordan never looked better, and again, brought more wins to the team, the Chicago Bulls. As for the Enterbay 6 scale figure, I definitely would be considering picking up more of these, and even though I have Jordan here, I would be definitely considering going back and picking him up in his classic 23 jersey as well. Speaking of picking up, if you guys are interested in picking this up for yourself, Spot will provide the link down below to TimCent88. It is an online store where you can pick up 6 scale figures such as Michael Jordan you see right here, and the prices are always reasonable over there. So head over to TimCent88 and you can pick up Jordan for yourself. Today's collectible spot, we were looking at the Enterbay. I'm back, the Michael Jordan number 45 6 scale figure. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.